Hey, what is going on, everyone? This is your boy Tanvir Sai, the Bengal Dragon, Blind Man Reviews. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification buttons, as all your support really helps this legally blind YouTube content creator remain motivated to continue making a variety of different type of videos on this channel as a legally blind YouTube content creator, and through the YouTube algorithms would also help this channel grow. I thought I'd do something a little different today. Once again, I'm sorry, the voice acting attempt, especially on my Bengal Dragon channel, is being pushed back a little bit because I just came across something and I thought that this was a neat idea and I thought I should give you my thoughts on this thing. Now, what I'm going to talk about is an app. First of all, shout out to Sam from the Blind Life channel. He covers a lot of assistive technology and whatnot for the most part for people with visual impairments. And yeah, it gives people a lot of good ideas. Recently, he posted a video about the highlights of attending several conferences um, around the United States, I believe, that features assistive technology. The one I'm going to talk about today is, I believe, called the OKO or OKO Pedestrian, something along those lines. I would take it that this has been published in 2023 because this is a 2023 highlight reel. Okay. This app basically allows a user to use the back facing camera of their phone to visually inspect whether or not a traffic light is red, green, or the countdown is on. Basically, allowing people to use their phones to tell them when to cross the road. Some of you might not believe it, but the people who have seen this, they will believe me when I tell you this. I thought of an advanced version of this. Okay. Not just this version, an advanced version that actually allows a visually impaired person to cross a road where there are no traffic lights, okay, which are actually a majority of the roads if you count just by the numbers of roads themselves. A majority of them don't have traffic lights. I have it in concept form, and I came up with this concept 6 years ago. The document is still in my computer. The problem is I don't know how to code. Okay. I tried learning how to code once I was in about the sixth or seventh grade, and I even coded something very simple in Q Basic. But I remember my computer teachers, they insisted that I drop anything to do with computers because they did not know how to teach a blind student. Okay, I tried learning Python. I tried going to some of the free classes that they have at my college. Unfortunately, I faced the same problem. They didn't tell me to not learn Python, but they basically stated that they don't know how to help me. So, given my legal blindness, and given that even if I have to self develop something, a lot of times I have to end up engineering a specific technique that works for me. And believe me, this involves an unbelievable amount of hard work. Unless you are disabled, you don't know what this is like. Because a lot of people might tell you that, just stop complaining and do it. Yeah. Unless you're disabled, that is much more easier said than done. You can do a lot of things. You can stop complaining and do a lot of things. The chances that it will fail is much, much higher for people who are disabled compared to people who are not disabled. Okay. And this also varies from disability to disability and also varies from task to task. Okay. You cannot be ignorant of that fact whilst actually trying to do something and stop complaining and all this stuff. Okay. Because at that point, it becomes insanity that you end up trying to do the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That it didn't work the last 10 times, maybe the 11th or 12th time it'll work. Yeah. That's insanity. Okay, but like I said, listen, I'm in a realm of human psychology, and I figured something out that, like, for some reason I tend to pick up on certain things better than, surprisingly, a lot of other people. A lot of people who are twice my age. I tend to pick up things they don't. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be Captain Hindsight. I don't want to have this unique power that doesn't help anyone. But anyways, getting back to this, okay. I downloaded it today from the App Store. Okay, I installed it in my iPhone 7. That's what I have. Okay, and yes, this is the time of Ramadan, and I went over some of the instructions. It said that it's best to use it during the daytime. Okay, that's the first flaw that I see. It's best to use during the daytime. Um, Whereas usually these type of traffic signals are visible at night a bit more than the daytime. Okay. Like, let's say my concept that I have, it actually corrects for that. I took it out for a test spin, if you will, during the daytime here in Central Florida. And if you are in OKO and you are listening to this, okay, first of all, thank you for developing this app. Okay, if you want to further develop this app, and if you want to go about it in a way where you can actually start making money off this app, not only, just as a proof of concept that works, well, first of all, you wouldn't need Europe for it to work, because in Europe, all of these traffic signals, these traffic intersections, they have those machines anyways. You would need a proof of concept for it to work in places that don't have these type of facilities, like, let's say, Central Florida, where I am right now, or many places in South Asia, many places in the Middle East. You need your concept to be proven to work in those areas. So if you want ideas on how to make that profitable or how to make that work in those type of areas, just hit me up. I would love to do a virtual meeting with you guys. I took this out for a test spin. The first thing I saw that, yeah, it's almost in a demo version, because in my iPhone all I have is the pedestrian application, and it seems that there are other applications that could be suggested or are on the way. Okay, for Google Street references, if you're in OKO, if you want to know what street I tried to cross using this app, okay, I'm in Central Florida in a city called Melbourne. Okay, I tried to cross the intersection between West Florida Avenue and Babcock Street. Okay, you can use Google Street View to uh, look that up. I crossed West Florida Avenue using this app a few times. Okay. What I saw is it takes some time to align itself. Okay. First, it takes some time to basically get everything spot on. Okay. Because how this works is that you have to point the camera at the opposite traffic head, if you will, opposite pedestrian head, towards the light. Okay. Towards the pedestrian light. And then the phone is supposed to vibrate in three type of patterns. I believe if it's walk, it vibrates very fast. If it's a timer, it vibrates intermediately. And if it's don't walk, it vibrates slowly. My phone did not vibrate at all. Okay, one. Second, um, it said not to use headphones or whatnot, but that's for me a bunch of baloney. I'll give you one very good reason. Okay, if you're using this in an intersection where you have a lot of traffic, where you have a lot of people walking and moving, and your vibrate feature doesn't work, you are left with nothing. The phone is not loud enough to drown out the noise of the entire world. It's just an iPhone. So I use this using Bluetooth, using my earbuds, and yes, it worked. I'm pleased to announce that for me, it worked. However, it was a little choppy. Okay, because another thing, I don't think the developers actually took into consideration almost every person who are visually impaired who have an iPhone will have voiceover. Okay, so the app has to be complementary to voiceover. Okay, and if you have, let's say, because this is how voiceover works, like if you accidentally hit a part of the screen that is designated as a button with your finger, that button will basically be highlighted. And if you double tap anywhere on the screen, that button will be activated. The display that shows whether the signal tells you to walk, wait, or stop, or don't walk is at the top. That text box is at the top of the screen. Okay. So, what ended up happening, I oriented myself to discover the layout of the screen, and then I had to constantly tap that part of the screen whilst holding my phone up like this. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, whilst holding my phone up like this, I had to constantly like tap the top of the screen just to get feedback on the change of response. After a few tries, I saw that it worked, but it was very unresponsive. It did not have a similar type of response. Here's the thing, my concept corrects for all this, because the concept I developed 6 years ago, I took all of this into consideration. That yes, you are going to have times where, you know, a simple vibrate is not going to work out. You're going to have conditions where people are going to have headphones in. Okay, because blind people, visually impaired people, are actually more resilient than you think. They don't necessarily need to not have headphones or earbuds or whatnot that, you know, allows for external noise to come in, so that, you know, they don't have to take off their earbuds and then put it in their pockets, cross the street, take their earbuds out and put it back in their ears. No, they're more resilient than that. Their ears are better tuned than that. Okay, and actually, speaking of which, like, you know, there's some people that say that blind people don't have superior hearing. um I actually beg to differ, because if I'm not mistaken, the human hearing range is 20 to 20,000 hertz. And this was actually done on me live in the University of Leeds, that I was given a sound below 20 hertz, and with my left ear, every time that sound was made, I heard it. And I was the only blind guy on, well, in that school, or in that department, rather. Anyways, but you know, there's always exceptions that prove the rule. But yes, that is my experience with this app. That yes, you are better off having voiceover. Okay, you're better off being good with your hands, because guess what, on the other hand, what are you going to have? You're going to have your blind cane. Okay, so it's best if you don't have anything else, like an umbrella or something, which, oh, good lord, I can't believe like, come to think of it, like, Oko, you really ought to get in touch with me, man. We have to discuss how to improve this, because in 6 years, if you just took it this far, I mean, like, we can't wait another 6 years for you to correct the mistakes. But anyways, on a basic level, it works, but it takes some trying to do. So if you're going to try it out, I would suggest you keep your wits about you. If you're using, let's say, the parallel traffic technique, which I use, the parallel traffic technique, and I didn't know this was called a parallel traffic technique. This is something I started to use in Abu Dhabi. In fact, the one time, or like the time I got hit by I actually got hit by a car, like like coming pretty fast, and like it knocked me halfway across the parking lot. This was back in Abu Dhabi, in a road that did not have traffic lights. If the vibrate feature works, then it's a different story. But for me, the vibrate feature didn't work, and my phone vibrates anyways when I get incoming calls, or when I get notifications, or when I get incoming messages. So there's nothing wrong with my phone's vibrating feature on a physical level. But yeah, the OKO app, there's a lot of potential in this, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Thank you to the developers. Okay. Because at first I thought I was going to be furious that someone stole my idea. But in hindsight, I'm happy, because now my attitude is that thank God someone else is doing some work. I don't have to do all the work. Not meant in a derogatory fashion, but solution for the problem with people with disabilities hinges so much on technology. And people need to make a very serious attempt at this, and it needs to be very concerted. I was going to try other things as well. Scan Maker pen. Once I saw on Amazon it's $149. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm not going to buy something for $149 and then just see whether it works or not. So those are my quick thoughts on the OKO Pedestrian app. And yes, I got it for free. I believe you can download it for free as of this recording. So if you want to, please do check it out. But please do be careful. Follow the instructions that are provided. And let me know what you thought about this app after trying it out in the comment section below. This is your boy Tanveer Sai, the Bengal Dragon, Blind Man Reviews, signing out.